You don't want to be hanging out here in such a fragile position that someone that you care about could be disconnected, having a bad day, say something to you and hurt your feelings, and have them, who you can't control, wouldn't want to even if you could, or speaking from your inner being point of view, of course. Well, we can see why you would want to control other people's behavior if you're someone who hasn't learned the art of allowing. If you're looking around and having emotional responses to what you're seeing, we can understand why you'd get pretty heavy on the trying to control circumstances and conditions. But by now, we would have thought you would have given that up because you're not able to do it. And as soon as you get one of them corralled and managed and molded in the way that they need to be so that you can look at them and feel good, another one just pops up. Or that one goes off and meets some new friend and starts catering to what they want instead of catering to what you want, and then you're back to square one again. You spent 18 years teaching that kid how to behave, and then he fell in love, and now he's doing what she wants. So if the way you feel is dependent upon controlling even one condition, you're in big trouble because you can't manage to control those conditions, but you can manage with all of the possible things that you have that you could focus upon and think about and remember and ponder and muse and observe and imagine. With all of the things that you could focus upon, past, present, or future, certainly there are enough things that feel good when you do it that you can manage your own mood. And the art of allowing is nothing more than managing your mood. It's saying, I want to feel good, and when I do feel good, I'm in alignment with good things. Now, conceptually, that's really easy to understand, isn't it? But you've trained yourself to respond to so many things other than that, even though you were born with a guidance system, even though you were born with this incredible ability to assess in every moment your vibrational point of attraction. It is interesting to us when we see you not understanding today that a good feeling is a good thing and that a bad feeling is not such a good thing. We want you to be willing to feel good on purpose for a little while and to watch the results of that deliberate offering of vibration. But that means directing thought on purpose. And directing thought on purpose, you could tell us this, in fact you do often, is not as easy as we make it out to be. Because, and here's where we let you off the hook, but only briefly, so don't get used to it. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. So if you've been focusing by virtue of some circumstance or events that you've been living on something that's causing you to offer a particular vibration, we acknowledge that it is easier for you to find other thoughts that match that vibration than it is to find very different thoughts. In fact, we'll really let you off the hook by saying, but only briefly, so don't get used to it. We will really let you off the hook by saying, you actually cannot find thoughts that are very far from the thoughts that you are thinking. In other words, if you're depressed and some bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Abraham student comes to you and says, you know, you create your own reality and you're supposed to feel good and things can get better for you, all you have to do is cheer up. You're thinking, I do not create my own reality or you'd be gone. It's just annoying to have someone all bright and happy and sure of themselves flapping in your face when you are in a place of not feeling good. We know that, but what we want you to understand is, unless you make an effort to feel better, and unless you accomplish feeling better, you have not shifted your vibration at all. And if you have not shifted your vibration, things cannot change. And dear hearts, there is not enough effort in the world to make the difference. You can't work hard enough. You can't work long enough. You can't gather enough other resources to you. You cannot buck the current of your own vibration. But unless you have convinced yourself that the way you feel is guidance and that good is moving toward what is good, is that hard to understand? Well, it's hard to understand by many of you who have had many people who didn't want you to move toward your good. They wanted you to do what they thought would move them toward their good. So they said to you, never mind how you feel, do what you should do. And what you should do is what I say you should do. And so disregard your own guidance and pay attention to these rules that I have laid out for you. And oh boy, are there piles of rules. Each one offered from somebody else's vantage point. Each one offered so that you can fulfill something that they need, because so many of them are still living a very conditional love. They want to feel good. They're well-meaning. They want to feel good, and they need you to behave in a certain way so that they can feel good. But do you hear the trap? So they need to feel good, so they set out rules, so you follow the rules so that they can feel good. But they can't get everybody to follow the rules, so they never really feel good. So they keep offering more rules, and you keep getting more lost because you are not using the guidance that you were born with to quantify your own journey. Have we convinced you? Have we convinced you that the way you feel is everything? Do you believe that when you feel good, you are in a vibrational place of allowing what you want in? Please believe it, because there is nothing that could be more accurate. So we're going to be a little heavy today. I'm going to emphasize it a great deal, because it really is what the art of allowing is about. We want you to leave here, if not already really good at it, at least determined to get better at it, at being one who molds your energy. Let's say it in a different way, of being one who creates your own mood. Because you understand that when you create a mood of joy, you're allowing everything that you've been asking for to come in. When you create a mood of love, you're allowing everything that you want to flow in. When you create a mood of expectancy, you're allowing everything you want. When you feel ornery, when you feel pessimistic, when you feel afraid, when you feel angry, even when you're frustrated and overwhelmed, those are indications that you've got your frequency set in a different place, and sincere, concentrated, deliberate molding is in order. So if someone says to you, what are you working on these days? Tell them, I'm working on my own mood and attitude. And if they're wise enough to ask you why, tell them, because that's my true, in the moment indication of how many of the wonderful things that I have been praying for and asking for, I'm allowing into my experience right now. Tell them, I'm no longer dictating my focus by whether it's interesting or whether it's important or whether somebody else is pointing at it or whether somebody else has made a big deal about it. I'm no longer guiding my sculpture of my life by any outside factor or guidance. I'm guiding it completely by the way I feel. And when you get there, now you are ready to travel with us on an emotional journey that will take you into the resources and the realm of all things wonderful that you have ever imagined. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. And there is nothing that is keeping you from the accomplishment or the achieving of anything other than your own attitude, other than your own mood, other than your own focus, other than your own emotional response to what you're giving your attention to. So leave this gathering today deciding that you're no longer one whose feelings can be hurt, because your feelings are no longer up for grab. Because your feelings are not dependent upon what somebody else thinks or does. Your feelings are dependent upon your choice of focus. And since that person that may hurt your feelings also could not hurt your feelings, you've got choices in your imagination. And since that person that may have just hurt your feelings has also done things that thrilled you, you have choices in your memory. And because that person who's trying to hurt your feelings right now is not the only person in your awareness right now, you've got choices right now. You have choices. The emotional journey says, and this is where we're letting you off the hook again. The emotional journey says the choices that you have are not from despair all the way to bliss. You don't have that choice, not right now. You've got the choice from despair, more despair, less despair. You've got the choice from despair, more despair, less despair, less despair, despair, less despair, even less despair, even less despair, despair, even less despair, despair, even less despair, anger, anger, even less despair, anger, even less anger, anger, despair, anger, less anger, anger, less anger, less anger, frustration. And once you make it to frustration, all kinds of options open up. Because the vibrational difference between frustration and bliss is a smaller difference than the vibrational difference between despair and frustration. So once you make it all the way to frustration, simple. We think what's gone wrong for so many of you is, for whatever reason, you've been in despair or fear or anger, and someone well-meaning close to you says, you know, you create your own reality, or you're supposed to follow your bliss. And while those are wonderful words, if you are in despair, you cannot get a whiff of bliss. And when you try and fail, then you get confused. When you try to reach for a vibration that is not accessible, and law of attraction is your friend, but law of attraction is not going to bend the rules for you. And it's a good thing, friends. You really don't want to be able to set your radio dial on 630 and get what's being played on all other stations. It's nice that there are vibrational differences. You really don't want the confounding, confusing experience of being able to read all of the vibrations at once. Focusing is important to satisfaction as well as to creation. So when you make the decision that nothing is more important than that you feel good, but your mantra is not, I'm going to follow my bliss, but instead, I'm going to reach for the best feeling thought I have access to now. There's a difference, isn't there? So if you're in despair and you make it all the way to anger, don't you think that's reason for celebration? Now, those around you will not agree. They liked you better when you were depressed because you were in your room, you left them alone, and now you're angry, you're out in their face. And so there are all kinds of anger management seminars going on where they're trying to get you to stuff that anger back there in that safe place where they'll feel better. But we're wanting you to understand that if you are feeling despair and you manage to reach for the life-giving breath of fresh air that anger will bring you, and then you do the most important thing, you stop and you say, I did this on purpose. I deliberately reached for this thought and it feels better. Now you're on the way. And do you know why? We're going to give you something here that's going to explain all of this so clearly. It's going to settle into your being in a way, the likes of that which you have never felt before. Every emotion, all the way from despair, all the way up to ecstasy, from complete connection to who you really are, all the way down to pinching yourself off pretty severely. All of those emotions are about your perception of freedom or your perception of bondage. Every one of them. If you'll get serious about this, if you'll say for the next 30 days, I care about how I feel, and I'm not going to make hard work of this, but I'm going to pay attention to the way I feel, and when I'm aware I don't feel good, I'm going to stop and do my best to find a thought that feels a little better right now. In 30 days, you will have so cleaned up your point of attraction, you will have opened the door, and all that stuff that has been held out there for you in vibrational escrow, you've been asking, source has been delivering, it's out there, it's right outside your door, you just haven't been letting it in because you've been too ornery, or too worried about this, or too frustrated about that, or too overwhelmed about this, or too panicked about this, or too frightened about this. And you've made all of that stuff up, you see. The majority of stuff that you give your attention to, that you use as your excuse to pinch yourself off from well-being, had nothing to do with you ever anyway. You just bought into that because somebody benefited by your accepting that. If you get really afraid of the terrorists, then you'll vote for those you believe will protect you most. That's the best example of that we've seen in your lifetime.